Hey everybody, it's Luke here. Wanted to go over the listing agreement. I realized that's one spot that we didn't do at the 2-day, so I want to go over that real quickly so you guys understand it and understand how to explain it to the customers. So here it is. This is your standard CAR, California Association of Realtors listing agreement. There's only a few spots that we're actually going to fill out when we give this to the homeowners. What we're going to tell them is that there's another gentleman in the company who handles this. We just do the initial paperwork, get it to him, and he'll follow up with them to finish up the rest of the paperwork. So the parts that we're going to fill out are um, this first line here. Didn't work out. This first line here, which is exclusive right to sell. This is going to be the seller. Okay, this is going to be their name. This is going to be whoever is on title. So if it's a husband-wife, make sure you get both their names on there. Hereby employs and grants. This part we're going to leave blank. This is where it's going to be the brokerage firm, and we're going to let Jim handle that side of things. The beginning date will be the day that they sign it, and the ending date here, put it 6 months from now. So that way, if the listing doesn't sell at auction, we still have a chance to sell it maybe down the road. So yeah, today's date, 6 months from now. This is the extent of the time. Now, if they balk or if they complain about the 6-month listing period, go ahead and shorten it. Say, all right, well, we'll just do 3 months then. If they complain about that, do 2 months. We don't want to do anything less than 2 months, really. We want to have one more shot. If something went wrong and got delayed for the auction, we want to at least have 2 months in there. This is a city, so right here you are going to write whatever city they're in. County, which is going to be San Diego. The assessor's parcel number, just leave that blank. Tell them we'll get that tomorrow or tonight or whenever. And this is where you put the full address in. This is under property. A lot of it's self-explanatory, but I just want to make sure you guys understand it. Number 2 is always going to be just write NA there. Not worried about that. Number 3 is a listing price. Now, this is tricky because we're doing a short sale, so we don't know what the price is, but we just have to have something in there. So what I generally do is, like, if the property is for 500 grand, I'll put like 300,000 or something in there. What I'll tell them is this is going to be our initial bid, but just make them very comfortable with the fact that the list number that we put in here completely doesn't make a difference because all it is something in there for the paperwork. So make sure you spell that out here and write it here. So here you can have, like a check, you're gonna have $300,000 and 00 cents. Here you'll actually just have the numbers. Okay. Additional terms are going to be NA. Now, compensation to the broker. You see, it's already in there. Now the banks are going to knock that down, but that's how we always start off, just to, hopefully that they'll give it to us. Don't do anything here. All right, here, number 2, you're going to put 90 days. And what this line is saying that if within 90 days after the listing period ends, they sell it to any of the buyers that we brought to them, that we're still owed a commission. Okay, so say for example we run the auction, one of the guys at the auction says, look, let's forget about these agents, let me get back to you in a couple weeks. We'll sell this outside of them, and I know how to do the short sale and everything, so I'll be good. We'll save us some money, and then they go back and try to go around us. Basically, this prevents that. So this isn't a big deal at all, really, for what we're doing though. Okay, let's see what else here. This line I always leave blank. There's nothing that they're going to pay us. Okay, here's basically the paragraph that gives us the option to cooperate with other brokers. So when we do the auction, and if an agent brings a buyer and that buyer likes the house and they want to put an offer, we're going to have to pay that agent. Okay, and so generally what I do is I'm just going to check this box here and put 3 in there. So it's going to be 3%, which is going to be negotiated down, but that's where we started off at. In case some reason the bidding goes crazy and maybe we'll get retail on it and we'll get a full 6%, which would be awesome, but unlikely. So, okay. These lines are just, you want to make sure that you want to go over these just in case. Generally, we never have to worry about this. But what it says is the seller represents that the seller has not previously entered into a listing agreement with another broker. Just confirm that. Obviously, if they're talking to you, the odds of them that they already signed a listing agreement is pretty low, but you just kind of want to double check on that. So the seller is not obligated to pay any other compensations. So, all right, you're gonna at the top of the second page, you're gonna want to put the property address here and the date, ownership and title and authority. Basically, what they're saying is the sellers are basically telling you, look, we do own this. We're not, some random person that happens to be living in this house and trying to sell it. So, multiple listing service. Oh, hold on, I got a little alert over here. Okay. Multiple listing of service. This is basically saying that we're going to be putting the home in the MLS. So, not a big deal. Seller representations. Basically, this is saying that we're going to be representing the seller, and it does say here something that if they read it closely, they may ask you about. And it says seller isn't aware of any notice of default against the property. It's going to say unless we'll make it in writing if they are. Just say, look, we're well aware of that. It's not a big deal, and just kind of move on. So a lot of this stuff, when you're explaining it to them, you're going to say, look, this is a lot of standard attorney stuff. A lot of it doesn't really apply, so you want to kind of go over it relatively quickly. You don't want to get into the weeds on this thing because it's just annoying and just a bunch of unnecessary stuff. Brokers and sellers' duty. Basically what this is saying, look, we're going to try to sell your house. We're going to put effort into selling your house, and you're going to cooperate with us, by making sure that, we can get in the house when we need to and show it when we need to and things like that. So, deposit, I generally skip right over this. Basically just saying that if we get an offer, we can hold the deposit. All right, agency relationships. This is where we say, look, we are representing you. Our agency is between the seller or between you and us. There's a potential that we will also represent the buyer. And what I say to them at this point is, look, if this was a home that was sold normally, like say we were going to retail this home and it wasn't a short sale, then obviously a homeowner might be concerned, because if we're representing both the buyer and the agent, or both the buyer and the seller, how can we truly have one or the other's best interest at heart? One of the sides is going to feel like they're getting a short end of the stick. However, since this is a short sale, it doesn't matter. We just need to get this thing to the bank and get it approved. So we may represent both sides, but it makes no difference here. Security and insurance. Basically, look, we're not responsible if somebody breaks into your house while we have this property listed. Key and safe box. This is basically saying that we can put a key or a lockbox with a key on the property. We need this to happen, so if they have a problem with it, you just really need to make them aware that, look, we need to have this on there for our purposes in case we can't make a drive all the way up here or something along those lines. Sign basically says that we're going to have a sign in the front yard. Equal housing opportunity. We're not going to discriminate, so if somebody wants to buy the house, their race, religion, or gender doesn't really matter to us. Attorney fees. This is basically, and I go over, all right, the rest of this, hold on, let me scroll down a little bit here. Okay, 15 attorney fees and all this dispute resolution here, 19. Okay, this is all stuff this is all capitalized, so they're going to be, oh, what is this? So what I do in this part is I say something along the lines of, okay, 15 and 19 is basically saying that, look, if there's any problem that arises, we'll start off with mediation and then go to arbitration and then litigation. Look, homeowner, we've never had to deal with any of these, so it's really not that big a deal. We're very much an open book. We're going to do our job. There should be no reason why we need to even worry about this, but I have to let you know what it is, basically, okay? And then just try to skip over. If they don't say anything, just move on. If they're like, well, what is this? Then you can go ahead and read it to them and maybe basically just explain, look, and when it comes to lawsuits, the only people that win are the attorneys, so we're trying to avoid that. We've never had a lawsuit in this, nor do we ever foresee them. We're very flexible. As long as everything works out as I've told you, there won't be any issues. So we should be all set. We shouldn't even have to worry about it. And just keep stressing, there's nothing to worry about. Okay, and that's basically it. Then what you need to do is you need them to sign. You need them sign here, fill out their information. I generally have them print and sign. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I have them print and sign there. If it's a husband and wife, have them do both. Or if it's a father, son, or something, have them do both. If they're both on title, just leave all this blank. All right, have them initial here. If it was a husband and wife, the husband would initial here, wife would initial here. Okay, and there's also, I think I forgot to point that out, but at the bottom of each page, there's a seller initial spot. Okay, so husband, wife, and the same on this first page as well, husband, wife. Okay. So that's basically how it works out. If you have any questions, just give me a call or shoot me an email. We can go over it. If there's anything I left out that you guys need to know about, that you didn't see that you would like to, just give me a call or shoot me an email and I'll go over it real quickly. But that's the standard. It's pretty standard. Just watch this a couple of times so you get a good feel for how it works out. Just always reinforce to the homeowner that this is a standard agreement. This isn't something that our company created. This is a standard that a bunch of bigwig attorneys from the state of California got together with and put this together. So this should make them pretty comfortable with it. And always, I generally refer to it as an agreement, like they do up here, actually, instead of a contract. Okay, and then I generally try to avoid, and I still make slip up now and again, but I try to avoid saying you need to sign this. I'll generally say, look, you just need to okay it right here. And if they don't get it for some reason, then I'll say sign. But generally, they understand what that means. Oh, I forgot to go on. Okay, after the first 3 pages of the contract. All right. After the first 3 pages of the contract, there is a seller's advisory, which is a 2-page paper that the seller has to sign. I don't even use this. I don't bring this. I'll let Jim follow up and take care of this. This isn't something I even go into. So when I print this out, I'm only going to print out the first 3 pages, which are the listing contract. I'll let Jim handle the seller advisory and all that good stuff. So, but that is it, guys. This should get you to where you're going. Like I said, if you have any questions, give me a shout. All right, take care.